Our conclusion. Our conclusion describes whether our hypothesis, the thing we started the investigation with, is right or wrong. We can also begin to explain why that might be, using some of our scientific ideas. Let's have a look at an example. The higher the rainfall there is, the less ice creams are sold. After our investigation, our graph of results looks like this. We have rainfall down the bottom here, a number of ice creams sold up the side, and we can see that when there's low rainfall, there's a really high number of ice creams sold, and when there's high rainfall, there's a low number of ice creams sold. So our hypothesis is correct. The more rainfall there is, the less number of ice creams are sold. So our conclusion is that the higher the rainfall, the less ice creams are sold. It's also good to write in our report that our hypothesis is therefore correct and that we know this because of our graph. If we want to write specific numbers in at this point, we can, saying at 1 millimetre rainfall there were 6 number of ice creams, at no millimetres of rainfall there were 8 numbers of ice creams sold, or any other points that back up your theory. I've written this as, we know this because our graph shows a decrease in the number of ice creams as the rainfall increases. Once you've told people in your report what the conclusion is, it's good to start to think about why the conclusion might be that. This could be because is a good sentence starter for this type of conclusion. So for our example, this could be because when it is raining, people are less likely to be outside and it might be colder, which means you don't want to eat ice cream as much. That is a reason for your conclusion. So to summarise what a conclusion is. Conclusions state the results of the investigation, say whether the original hypothesis is correct or not, describe how you know this using examples from a graph maybe that you've drawn for your experiment, and finally explains, using some thinking about the science, why this might be the case.